citizens of Champaign are winners.
That's the opening statement from Champaign's new Chief of Police, Tim Tyler. This is his first week at the helm, marking a new era for the department. Good evening, I'm Jessica Coons.
And I'm Jennifer Roscoe. The position has been filled on an interim basis since Chief Anthony Cobb's departure last August. Target 3 investigative reporter Renee Cooper is live from the police station now. And Renee, you got to sit down and be introduced today. So how will he set himself apart?
Well, before coming here, Chief Tim Tyler was also Chief of Police back at the Illinois Conservation Police. He says that was a great fit considering he's from small town Mississippi, where hunting and fishing are the bread and butter. But the focal point of his nearly 3-decade career has been in Illinois, and he says coming to Champaign was simply his next calling.
I have been blessed by God to be a police officer in the United States, plain and simple. This is not a job, this is a calling.
And after 29 years in law enforcement, that calling led Chief Tim Tyler to Champaign.
We have great citizens living here. The economy is great, and mostly the culture is the most outstanding, and the diversity is what I thrive on.
Chief Tyler is still a colonel in the Army Reserves. He's given 32 years of service to the U.S. Army.
My first job there, I was a military police soldier. And I've risen from Private E1 to Colonel there as a military police soldier. So this is all I know.
In the 90s, Tyler worked with state police for several years, including time as a district commander for the Metro East Assistance Team outside of St. Louis. And although his career has been primarily focused in metro cities, including a start in Markham, Illinois, outside of Chicago, he says Champaign is the place to be.
So it's really no difference if you're a state trooper, if you're a Champaign police officer. It's all about serving people and making sure our constituents, our citizens feel safe.
How are you going to engage the community and encourage them that your department stands with the public?
Yeah, our job in law enforcement is real simple. We're protectors, and we're here to create a safe haven for our citizens. But I just wanted to get back how I grew up, where cops lived next door to me, and I was able to go and eat a peanut butter and jelly sandwich at their house. That's what I think law enforcement is. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that our police department and our community are one. And you will see that more and more as we go on.
He made a commitment to be visible and accessible out and about in Champaign. He met with church leadership on day one. Now, Tyler is inheriting a police department that's been suffering from the worst staffing levels in its history. Coming up later in the newscast at 6:30, I'll share more about how he plans to make recruiting new officers, and diverse officers at that, his top priority. Live in Champaign, Renee Cooper, WCIA3, your local news leader.
Renee, thank you so much.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA3 News at 6:30.
I know without a shadow of a doubt that our police department and our community are one.
That was the theme of our first meeting with Champaign's new police chief today. This is his first week on the job. Earlier in the newscast, we told you all about Chief Tim Tyler's nearly 3-decade career in law enforcement.
We also had a chance to press him about his plans for improving the department and community relations. Our Target 3 investigative reporter Renee Cooper is with us again live from the police station. So Renee, what is his first priority?
Well, Jennifer, that would be hiring, and there was no hesitation in answering that question. And it's no secret Chief Tyler is inheriting a department that's in distress. Last department, it was in the direst need of officers the department has ever been in. And as a leader who's worked in large metro cities both near Chicago and St. Louis, I asked him how he plans to address growing gun violence concerns. Chief Tim Tyler takes the helm of the Champaign Police Department at an interesting moment. Aside from the month of February, shootings and gun-related homicides are down in 2022 from last year, for the first time since at least 2019.
You will continue to see the reduction.
Meanwhile, other central Illinois metros like Decatur are setting records this year. That city has seen 9 murders so far this year, already more than the 8 seen in all of 2021. And Champaign has still seen more shootings so far in 2022 than it had at this point in 2020. How are you equipped to to address the gun pipeline and gun culture that's clearly taken a hold of Champaign, and particularly our young black men and teens.
Yeah, so I'm glad you brought that up. I don't hide behind the fact that our victims of gun violence have been African-American males. Very concerned about that, especially being African-American myself.
Tyler says he'll be working closely with the U.S. and states' attorneys' offices, sharing intelligence to track down known offenders.
The most important part of reducing criminal violence, especially in the minority community, is working with the leaders in the minority community and asking them, what techniques can we use, or what do you feel that's effective? We had a lot of success when I was in the East St. Louis area, where we didn't have a large amount of police officers.
Which is key in a city that's been stifled by small staff. Last summer, more than a quarter of positions, 33, were either vacant or the person was on leave. A year later, it's improved by a few hires, but the situation is still dire enough the department felt the need to hire private security downtown. Tyler is confident in the steps already underway, including bringing in a marketing company to recruit and making testing for possible officers available year-round.
We're looking for people to apply. We have a great benefit packet for you with a recruiting bonus of $20,000.
Now, I asked him how, on top of filling those vacancies, he plans to make sure that police department personnel are representative of everyone in Champaign. Now, he assured me that diversity is huge to him in the hiring process and promised anyone wishing to apply, quote, "You're going to be treated fair here, no matter what your race or sex or your sexual orientation." Live in Champaign, Renee Cooper, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
All right, Renee, thank you so much.